somebody in this place. You've been restless because you've been working, and you feel like that your working is in vain. You feel like the doors are closed. You feel like the windows are shut. But I come to tell you, get ready. God got a surprise for his saints. Surprise, surprise. Won't you holler at somebody and say surprise, surprise. You've been
it live, and you do it the way that everybody always has done with rock and roll.
Well,
and take it to the road, didn't you? Is that the way?
I think playing for people is what a musician does. It's the healthiest thing you can do, Rob. That it's more important than making records. And I just wanted, you reminded me of something. My old man, before he died, was reading and reading. He was very infirm. And he said, what is this article I read about rock bands that have backing records and things? I said, no, backing tapes on stage. He said, you mean people are paying money to go to these basketball arenas and it's not even a full band? I said, yeah. They'll have maybe part of the backing track is fake, or maybe the harmony vocals are fake. And he looked at me and I swear to God, he said, so when I was, well, I don't want to make fun of my father, but his accent was really thick. He said, so when I was courting your mother, and we went and saw the Dorsey Brothers and Gene Krupa, now them fellas was live, weren't they? And I said, and he goes, was that a record? And I said, no, Pops. When you saw the Dorsey Brothers in 1938, they were playing live, baby. And it, you know, it was live. And he looked at me and said, I hope so, because I didn't pay to hear no record. It's a true story.
Don't mean a thing if you ain't got that swing. It don't mean a thing, all you gotta do is sing.
Let's cut to the writing side of things. A journalist, not a novelist yet.
Not yet.
Sid, is there a novel in there?
No, Esther, my kid wants me to write children's books. Yesterday I turned in my book on Bob Dylan's Ronaldo and Clara, Desire, Hard Rain, Rolling Thunder Review Tour.
Yeah.
And I turned in about 100,000 words, and they'll chop it down to about 85 to 90,000 words.
So the publisher's in line, and
yeah, I got an editor named Tony Bacon. He'll be chopping it up starting now.
Yeah.
And I'm really pleased. The last one I wrote, called $1 Million Bash, if I may be so bold, was on the Basement Tapes. And the last sales report I got was 15,000 copies.
Unbelievable.
So for 15 quid a pop at 15,000,
that's
my biggest hit, if you will, since the Long Riders.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
But since then, the Graham Parsons TV show for the BBC was popular.
And the book as well, of course, that you did.
That was popular, but I mean, the $1 Million Bash thing was amazing. My kid got excited because Misha Barton, who's an actress on I think Beverly Hills 90210 or one of those stupid shows. She was in People magazine in America holding $1 Million Bash on the set.
Yeah.
She's walking to get a coffee or something.
Yeah.
I don't really know who Misha Barton is, but it's a big deal to my little girl. And so friends of mine in America sent me the email photograph, and my kid just went nuts. That's Misha Barton holding your book. And I'll tell you another funny thing about it.
She might even read about
within about
Bob
a month,
Dylan
she was arrested for drunk driving. Really horrible. LAPD pulled her over when she was blotto driving drunk. Sorry, Misha. I said, Esther, your hero's in the papers again. And she was arrested. Like twice the normal blood alcohol. Oh, God.
So did you get a chance? Have you met Bob Dylan? Have you actually sat down and talked to him about things?
I'm buddies with his dear friend Bob Newworth, who people know as his road manager. Don't Look Back.
And a great songwriter as well.
And a great songwriter, I think. I agree.
Yeah.
You mentioned Bob Newworth, and these people talk about, he knows famous people like Dylan, and Newworth on his own is a terrific musician.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Bob Newworth fan, just as Bob Newworth. He's done a lot of co-writing with people like T-Bone Burnett. And he's in the Alpha Band. He's worked with Dylan. Newworth has worked with Dylan down through the years, but because Newworth has worked with Dylan and got Patti Smith going, and worked with Janis Joplin. He wrote that song Mercedes-Benz with Janis Joplin. Jesus. People sort of talk about New Earth in relationship to these famous names.
Yeah.
And New Earth's, he's got, I think, 5 solo albums out, and they're just terrific. Yeah. That last one, which is about 10 years old now, the Cuban one called Havana Midnight, is just terrific.
Yeah.
Terrific.
We can see the harbor and hear the sound of music on the water. Jazz that has the heart of any sailor, brave enough to sail her 7 seas. Havana midnight, velvet.
New Earth, and he helped a little bit. And then Dylan's manager, Jeff Rosen's an email buddy now. We've talked on the phone a few times, but no, I've never met Bob Dylan.
No.
Don't really expect to.
No. So how do you think he feels? I mean, it's just an insight into it. But would he, for instance, if somebody was to write the book of Sid Griffin and put that out, you would be chuffed about that, wouldn't you?
I would, but that's because no one's done it. I mean, New Earth told me, Bob Dylan, another Bob Dylan book. What is left to write about Bob Dylan? What he has for breakfast? And I thought, yeah, it's getting that way. And the other one is the Beatles. Someone was writing this book about the Beatles' radio appearances. And I just thought, oh, God. I mean, it's really... The Beatles chauffeur, Alf somebody, he wrote a book about him. I mean, it's getting ridiculous on the Beatles and Bob Dylan. But I'm guilty of writing a new book called Shelter from the Storm about Rolling Thunder and Ronaldo and Claire. I'm very happy about it.
Because everybody's got their own little part of Dylan, and they go, well, this is my era, and you know, when he found Christianity, or his Christian era, or whatever, it's like everybody's little era.
No, I signed on, they signed me a contract to do 3 books on Bob Dylan, then I never want to write about him again.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they'll
so you've got another one to go.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that's really interesting. He told Eric Anderson about $1 Million Bash, that he was aware of it. He said, yeah, some guy's written a book just about the one album. It's crazy, isn't it? And Eric Anderson told my friend Greg Trooper in Nashville, and Greg Trooper told me. So, Bob Dylan knows who I am, which is exciting. It makes me very happy he's aware of me.
So, so the book's coming out. Television-wise, will the book go to television? Or,
I hope
or are
so.
You,
I hope
can you
so.
get it to television?
BBC, I said, let's do a documentary on one of these things. The Graham Parsons show did really well.
Yeah.
Let's do a documentary. So I'm hoping Mark Cooper will, think, let's do it.
Yeah, cool.
It's not up to me to decide. And a new Cole Porter's album in January.
We need that, January.
Durango, it's called, where we recorded the record in Colorado.
Yeah.
And it's in January. It's got a great cover. We're very, very happy. It's going to have a film encoded in the disc, so you can play the CD in your car or wherever.
Yeah.
And if you play it on your computer at home, the little film clip comes up, made by Biggie Kangawa, who's Carly, our fiddler's fella, if I can say that.
Excellent.
It's a great little film.
We have to cut to the live music, and we'll be doing all sorts of things with that. And I just got to thank you. Thanks, Sid. It's always great seeing you, man. Great. Thank you.
Yeah, I think Simon Cowell's got a lot to answer for. I really do.
1, 2, 3.
Sing the falling eagle, helicopters fly, chasing around the mountains, chasing green eyes. They say that it's good sporting, shooting from long range. Above the roaring thunder, you can hear rifles sing his dead song. It won't be long. Sing the western rancher, he takes his land. Got 1,000 others, he don't give a damn. Get up with sunrise, get by guys around. Get him with the first shot, turn the beat down, down, down. Flash on the ground. Sing the noble eagle. No more chains.
keep me beat.